Ray and Jumbo the two hosts. If I may, I'm thinking that you chose the best thing if you like them nerd shows and all of these movies. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat.
What up, Chip and Chaps? This is Chip and Chap Chat. Not an episode,
Not an
but rather
episode.
a
One of
short
these,
clip.
like these special things that we're gonna do. We kind of did before with like those. I think it was the first series, the first season of Daredevil and Jessica Jones and stuff like that. We unnumbered them.
Right. And
So there was
we've had a couple where
yeah,
we
like
just react to trailers or just react to
movies and stuff. Just
movies, but we felt like
hmm
putting out in rapid succession maybe a couple of smaller little bits so you can just have one little conversation with us about
so
about a
whatever.
specific thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And this time,
There's no time limit, obviously, and all that stuff. Yeah.
it's about Thor because earlier today, while Jeff was in the sky, miles high, we got the Thor trailer dropped. So he couldn't watch it when it first happened. I
I
linked
couldn't.
it to him immediately, but
Yeah,
he
he did.
couldn't get YouTube on the
I
flight.
had Wi-Fi on the airplane, which is already amazing technology, but it didn't allow me to access YouTube for I don't know why, so I couldn't watch it yet.
Um, well, now that you have, what are your thoughts, man?
I mean, all right. Prior to the release of this, I
Uh,
was already looking forward to it.
yeah,
I like the Thor movies probably more than most people. And I was like, okay, third one's gonna be fun. I reckon. Third
right.
one's gonna be fun. We knew that we knew the director that was gonna do it. I like his films. He's got good films. And we heard obviously rumblings and rumors like, oh, Hulk's gonna be in this one. It's gonna be like part World War Hulk. It's gonna be the Hell is gonna be in there. Kate Blanchett's gonna be in there as Hela. We're gonna get Valkyrie and all that type of stuff. And I was like, oh, wicked! It's gonna be great. But after, yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna could be good. But
Right.
this teaser, it's only mind you, it's only a teaser, right? This
Mhm.
teaser solidified my eagerness to watch this.
So now you're good to go. Like,
I'm solid. I'm solid. If I mean I'm gonna say like if they release more trailers, I probably don't have to watch it. I'm going to though.
right.
But I'm already sold on this one.
Yeah.
So like I was sold from the start, obviously, but now even more so. Now we get to see visuals. I'm like, yes, this looks awesome.
Right. This is what I was
This
hoping
is
for.
exactly like based on what we had read, based on what we had found out. I was like, I had hopes of things. I like the cast. I like Thor. I like all those guys.
Right.
But seeing it just on the 2 minutes, whatever, I'm like, yes, this is what I was hoping it was gonna look like, and I'm hoping and if it's essentially the trailer, obviously, if it's like a long movie-length version of the trailer with
Uh-huh.
more stuff that will surprise us, then I'll be very happy.
I like that. I mean, a lot of people are already saying that it feels like a Guardians trailer
Sure.
because they picked like an old song
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very galactic like space story. So a lot of the people are wearing space looking shit. It looks like it takes place in the same universe
Right.
as Guardians, which is fine because it's consistent and it's
That's
supposed to.
that is exactly it. Like the people who bring up Guardians, like I rewatched Guardians on the flight, right?
Right.
And I'm like, man, this movie is excellent.
Yeah.
And seeing this teaser, it's like, oh, some people obviously, as you mentioned, were commenting saying, oh, it feels like a Guardians movie. The aliens are like all bright and like vibrant. There's like elaborate, sets and stuff. And I'm like, well, it's part of the same universe. Essentially, Guardians established a better. They broadened out their alien
Right.
aspects.
They
You
showed
know,
us the cosmic
right?
stuff, which
Exactly.
Thor is a part of. They've already
Absolutely.
established he's an alien as well.
And I know people are like, yeah, but Thor is also, I guess, considered cosmic. But I'm like, yeah, but all we saw in Thor technically was just Asgard,
Right,
one
right.
cosmic. Guardians showed us way more. Like they didn't show us any Asgardians there. They just
Right,
showed us the
and
other aliens.
we've already established in previous films that the Asgardians know the Collector,
Yeah.
so they're in that same
Mm-hmm.
they're in that same shit, and which is
Absolutely.
why again because they show Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
and he's got like the painted
I think he's
on
supposed to be like what?
strip.
Like the brother is like related to him or some shit. Oh, the same
Yeah, I
race.
think he's the brother
Right. Right.
he's the
Right.
brother of the Collector, as far
Mm-hmm.
as I'm aware. And it looks like it. Everybody keeps saying he
Yeah.
looks silly, but I'm like, what did the fucking Collector look like? He looks like Jeff Goldblum doing
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. He had
So
white hair. He had
right,
this streak
and I
here.
feel like they're like, who do we cast as Benicio del Toro's brother? And they're like, not Benicio del Toro the actor, but his
Benicio
version of the
del Toro,
Collector, which was
exactly.
like the weird guy.
He did that.
Right,
I love that scene when Rocket does that too.
right. When he does it back.
Just mocking him. I'm like, that's so good. That's so good.
Uh, when
That's
you're
so good.
casting the
Yeah.
brother of that character,
Yes.
who better than Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum to play another space weirdo?
It's almost like, of course it makes sense.
Right.
Of course it makes sense. Like you're not gonna just get Benicio to play him as well. That would be
Right.
weird, you know. But that in itself wouldn't even shock me. I'd be like, of course, of course.
Yeah, if they're twins, but
Yeah,
I think
but
he is
yeah,
supposed
they're
to
not.
be an older
Right,
brother or
right.
whatever.
That's why.
So
That's why I'm like, this makes even more sense.
yeah, so I'm
This is
like,
even
okay, this
cooler.
seems cool to me.
Hmm.
But at the same time, the shot of Jeff Goldblum and he's talking to Valkyrie in the movie, which I can't remember the actress's name, but she's the one from Creed,
Yeah.
and
Do you
she's,
like her as Valkyrie? I mean, we haven't seen anything of her being Valkyrie
yeah,
yet.
it's hard to say because,
Is that what
but
you
you know,
imagine
just
as Valkyrie?
based on what I've seen, no, because
Yeah.
I imagine girl Thor like she's got long like blonde braid or
Right,
whatever.
right, right,
She looks like Thor basically, but I'm not saying that she can't be good. I just haven't seen anything, and
right.
my only exposure to Valkyrie is her in the Ultimates where Joe Mad was drawing her. So she was like a Joe Mad looking girl, but with blonde hair. So it's like it's not exactly what I imagined, but maybe she's dope still. They didn't show her fight
Going,
or anything.
yeah, they didn't. They didn't. They showed a lot
Uh,
in this teaser, though.
they showed a lot, but I feel like they didn't show anything at the same
Nope.
time because
Exactly.
we never see Thor fight Hela.
We
We
see
never
Hela.
see
We see
Hulk.
Hela crush his
Right.
hammer. That's it.
We never see Hulk in any other location
Nope.
than that arena scene. But anyway, the scene where Jeff Goldblum was talking to Valkyrie, because I don't want to forget to mention this. That scene, for some reason, the way it's shot, and I'm sure it's like Taika Waititi's not used to using green screen and stuff, you know, so filming your actors to make it look like they're in an environment when you're filming on green screen is probably difficult. Those two shots in particular of him talking to her straight up to me look like episode 1.
Yes.
Like if you look at how the like all the little ships are flying in the background and it's like just obviously a green screen of them sitting in front of something
I
and
know.
talking to each other really
Because
emotionlessly, especially Valkyrie. She just goes, I found you a contender. Like she looks like a
yeah,
robot or something. So I'm
right.
like, that shit looks like
Especially,
episode 1.
especially if you compare it to the shot of Thor in that junk planet thing.
Right, right.
It looks like not the same movie.
No. But the Junk Planet thing to me also, Aspen, relax.
She knocking.
uh, she's screaming on the other side of the door. Um, the Junk Planet thing actually reminded me even more so of that live action Destiny trailer. We were just talking
Oh
about this
yeah,
before
yeah,
we
yeah,
started.
yeah, yeah. It's
The
because of
live action
everyone's
Destiny
helmets.
trailer, yeah, they used the
Everyone's like
same.
alien
They used
helmets.
the same song, and
Okay.
that scene in particular looks very similar to me. The only some of those shots where it's like clearly green screen. Those shots are the only shots that look odd to me. Like the
Hmm.
dude on the like Gatling gun thing, and I'm like that guy. It's like this doesn't look like a Thor thing at
Right,
all.
right,
But
right.
I'm still like a lot of the rest of it still looks exciting to me. Anyway, so that whole scene with Hela where she's fighting the whole group of motherfuckers on Pegasi.
Pegasi.
That shit is crazy looking, dude.
Yeah,
And I
looks
really
good.
want to know who the chick is that gets knocked off and they like
Mhm.
focus on her and she's got the green cape and shit.
I mean, I question, right? You know, you said some of the green screens right now looks very episode one ish.
Right.
Do you think it's because they're still in post production?
There's, I mean, they're gonna be working on the effects all the way up until
Right,
when the fucking
exactly.
thing
So I mean,
drops.
that
So
whole
it's
that
not
whole
final
exactly. Yeah,
product.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying the way things are framed.
Yeah, because it's like so
It
close up
it
like
feels
this. Yeah.
very it feels very much like someone who didn't know how to film something like that,
And it wouldn't
and they
surprise
were
me.
just like, and they told do it all on green screen, man. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's maybe that's the. I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's actually shot that way for effect of some call. Yeah, for some reason.
Right, and I'm like the Coliseum scene is a little less epic than I was imagining it
Because it's like a very
because
big coliseum.
it's big, but it's also like very empty looking,
Yeah, yeah. There's
and
no
it's like
there's no body or
indoors, so
rubble.
there's no lighting on it.
Mm-hmm.
It if like in the Planet Hulk comic, it's like a desert planet, so it looks like Spartacus shit. There's like dust everywhere and
Yeah,
everything's
yeah,
orange.
yeah.
Uh, so I kind of miss that a little bit. Like this feels but it also feels like the Guardians of the Galaxy version of
Of that.
what that scene would look like because the
Yes,
corridors are
yes.
very like colorful and odd. Uh, I'm just very curious what the tone of it is going to be. Like his whole thing where the Hulk shows up and he's like, "Hey, yes, it's my friend from work." It feels very much like the little shorts they put out about him and his like roommate. And that was funny, and it's still in the Taika Waititi humor. I
Right, right.
just wonder how much of the movie is gonna be that. But I'm looking forward to it. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell the gravity of the story if Thor
Yes.
at that point in the story is still like, "Yay, work friends!" If
Yeah.
Asgard has fallen
Right.
and
That's why
like,
it's weird. Like I don't know. It it's it is it too jokey? Do you think?
I don't know. It's because it's a teaser. It's hard to
Right.
tell what the
Right.
tone is going to be because there was so little to
Because it
judge on.
could feel very, very serious too.
It could. It's just I think they were like, this is a Marvel movie. People want to see that they're quipping and Thor is still Thor, even without the hair and
Because
all this.
all right, I'm gonna bring it back to Guardians because obviously that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people are tying it to. And having
Right.
recently just watched it like within a couple hours ago,
Yeah.
just that I mean, remember that the climax of the film, how the dance off
Yeah.
that was very, it was very light, but then as soon as he held on to that thing, it
Uh huh.
it switched to a very, very serious tone.
All right. All right.
Yet it's like it didn't feel out of place. Everything still felt in place,
All right.
and it with purpose.
Uh huh.
You know, especially like when he was holding on to it, he's screaming and stuff, and then the whole "take my hand," and it's like he remembered his mom, and it's like, oh, okay, so it's even greater than that. And having watched that film, I'm not every time I watch it, I notice more and more things where I'm like, wow, they really do a lot of like, they really establish a lot of things early on, just little hints of things that they'll
Right.
call back to. They'll call back to, and then you're like, oh wow, that was a nice payoff, without even feeling like, oh, here's this scene here, fellas. Like
All
for people
right.
watching it, we're gonna remind you of this, you know, or it's
All
like
right.
we're laying this foundation out specifically so that when we do it again later, you're gonna be like, oh yeah. Here it's almost like it just works with the story, and they'll just do random little things, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, that actually had greater meaning. It wasn't just a throwaway, or not even just a throwaway. It wasn't just something that was part of the scene. Everything had a purpose
All
behind it.
right. It all the little shit
Yeah,
matters. Uh,
and
you
it could be
know,
the case with this one as well, because we're obviously because it's a teaser, we're not seeing Jack.
Right.
Right.
And I'm very curious. There's a lot of stuff like that whole Pegasus scene of them fighting Hela in like I assume which is her version of hell because it's just like dusty black rocks everywhere.
I wonder though, is that like the past?
I have to imagine it's like in her full like with the mask on and the whole shit.
Which is
I've got to
amazing.
imagine that's like her back in the day
Yeah.
fighting an army of I
As
don't know if that's
Guardians.
old school Asgardians
Maybe.
or what. The fact that they're all on Pegasuses
Mm-hmm.
and they have like the green on makes
Yeah.
me think it's not Asgard.
And just
Right.
yeah,
It's something.
civilization of
I don't
some
know
kind.
what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. But I'm very curious.
And we haven't, and they haven't. I know it's a teaser, so they can only show so much, and sometimes people complain because they don't show enough. But then some
Right.
complain that they show too much. There's no scene of Anthony Hopkins, Odin.
Right, which, as far as we can tell, takes place in New York if we
Right.
look at all the shit we've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we saw there was what was grown to be called Hoboken, or Hoboden, which was the
Oh, Bowden.
homeless Odin.
Nice.
uh,
Nice.
so we
Nice.
know he's in New York, and we know from the end of, well, spoiler alert for Doctor Strange after credit scene if you haven't
Yes.
seen it. But fast forward like a minute. But Doctor Strange interacts with Thor at the end of that,
Mm-hmm.
says that he brought Loki there,
Mm-hmm.
and they're looking for Odin.
Right. Now, that's crazy. Because
Right.
that says more about Ragnarok than the teaser did, kind of.
Right.
Because, I mean,
And I have to imagine if that scene means that he goes to New York looking for Odin, he finds Hela instead, maybe? Like maybe she was down there pretending to be Odin or something. But she finds him in that alley and she like she catches the hammer and
it just
crushes
shatters,
it with
yeah.
her
It
hand.
just shatters it, yeah.
So, but that scene looks like it's taking place in like an alley in New
Yep.
York.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to imagine it's in that scene.
That wasn't Odin at all. That was actually Hela.
Maybe. That's what
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I'm excited about the film, though. It's going to be great fun.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
It's
I
going
don't
to be
know what
very
all we're
fun.
gonna see. I don't know how Valkyrie factors in. I did notice though during the scene where Thor's like, "Yay, my work friend!"
Yeah.
When it cuts up to the crowd and everybody reacting,
Yeah.
they show the collector up there like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
But next to
Loki
the couch with the collector,
is Loki.
right, is
Yeah,
Loki.
yeah.
So I'm wondering if he double crosses Thor at
Of
some
course, he's
point,
Loki.
or if Thor was picked to fight and Loki picked
He's
Hulk,
champion. Oh, well,
right? Or
nice.
if
Yeah.
it's something like that. Like I'm very
Mm,
curious how that relationship stuff,
right.
how Loki factors in because they show him like in one other scene basically of
He's
him
like
like
holding.
flipping
Yeah.
daggers
But with his
about to
helmet.
fight. Yeah, with a modified version of the
Mm-hmm.
helmet. It looks more like the modern comics, so the
Right.
horns are a bit
One thing
smaller and his hair's out.
here's one thing I find cool about this teaser already.
Yeah.
Thor's rocking a helmet, and it's a
Yeah.
good looking helmet.
It's a good looking helmet, but it doesn't look like Thor's
It doesn't look
helmet
like Thor's
still.
helmet, but it's close without
Right,
looking stupid.
The
You know, the
I didn't
whole
mind the first helmet.
I
I
didn't.
thought
It
the
just
first helmet
it
looked
felt
bad.
awkward.
It did feel awkward. I feel like they need to
Something
do the
about the
Koi Pella
front.
one where it comes down onto
Yeah,
his fucking nose.
dude, that one where it's like like an actual.
Like a centurion or
Exactly.
whatever.
It's a Centurion helmet that goes across here the bridge, and it like
Yeah, he needs that shit.
because it could look so dope. Like, all right,
Yeah,
do you remember the movie? I don't know if you've seen it, Troy.
I've not seen Troy.
Because Brad Pitt's helmet
Uh-huh.
is
Is it
freaking
Thorish?
sick. Yeah, all you gotta do is pop the wings there, and it's like Thor's helmet.
Huh.
Because it does like a really cool, like it
Right.
covers that part, like with the chin. It does what an actual
Right.
helmet is supposed to do,
Right.
where it's not just sitting on your head, but it's protecting your face.
Yeah,
from anything that could stab it and
I'm
stuff.
curious to see how it factors in.
Right.
Uh, I don't really like the like weird baseball bat thing he's using, but I'm like, they just gave him something to. He's got
It's
to have a weapon,
yeah. It's just something to club
right?
things with. Or you got Heimdall Bishop. What's that?
Okay, so they destroyed the hammer at the beginning. Heimdall Bishop is very interesting to me too, because they showed him without the helmet on before. He didn't have dreadlocks, so I don't wonder if that's an old flashbacky type thing, or if
It's
that's a
future or
rebirthy
current. Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Because
Mm.
after Ragnarok story, usually everyone dies and they are reborn somewhere
Oh
else.
yeah. How about if they did that?
I'd be curious.
That'd be
I'd be
sweet though.
curious. I
Maybe.
still
How
don't
about
feel
if?
like this movie ends with Natalie Portman being like, "And now I'm Thor." I just don't think
I
that's.
don't know.
I don't
I
think
don't
that's
think so.
happening.
Yeah, because that would mean in Infinity War, Natalie Portman is the Thor.
No, I think all of the Avengers we know from the first Avengers movie have to be in Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they can.
Oh
It's
yeah,
the end of the story arc
yeah.
they started with Avengers 1.
Dude, and it's happening.
It is happening so soon.
I don't
So
know if I'm ready
soon.
for it, dude.
I'm so excited.
I'm not ready for it.
uh, but but yeah, man, everything I've seen for this little teaser thing seems really cool to me. I know they fight other monsters than each other in that
Arena
Coliseum thing or whatever.
tournament. Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's not fights to the death because if he fights Hulk before they fight another shit,
Then one of them dies.
one of them is not dead. So I wonder how that works out.
Unless, of course, it's stopped by
Right.
something or something or
Where
other.
they team up halfway through,
Maybe.
destroy the whole Coliseum. I do like in that scene where they jump at each other and Hulk's like gonna smash
Yeah.
him. It looks like Thor is about to uppercut the
Yeah,
fuck out
I
of the
know.
Hulk. I
As
was
he
like,
was
there's
doing
no way
that,
that
I know.
ends well for the Hulk in
No,
that
no,
first
no.
hit.
No, no. He's gonna get clocked in the chin. It's gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
great. Yeah.
he's fully
Because
gonna
I was like,
Sure
wait a yeah.
you can.
I was gonna say that because I was like, he wasn't going to hit like for a smack. Like he wasn't even holding a weapon. It looked like he was just going to go straight
Yep.
uppercut.
Straight uppercut, dude.
I'm like, cool. That'd
Yep.
be so sick.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm
I
excited, man.
am. I'm yeah. As I said earlier, it's
I wish it was
seeing the
coming out
teaser.
sooner.
But you know what though? This month, or well, within the next 2 3 weeks, we're gonna
Right,
get
we get Guardians, yeah.
Guardians 2. So we get the first of the big
And you
Marvels.
know there's gonna be some setup. You know there's gonna be
Of
some setup.
course, there's gonna be.
There's
Of
gonna be
course.
two post credit scenes. Confirmed two.
Is it? You
And,
think one of them's Nova?
motherfucker, I don't know. I can't even begin to speculate on Guardians.
You're like, oh shit, that's right. Because essentially, Nova could be part of after or during Infinity, then he's one of the guys after.
Right. It could just be connective tissue to
Right.
Infinity. Like, we still don't know, like, who. Schwarzenegger, fucking Lex Luthor. I don't know.
I'm
Not
fine if
Schwarzenegger, it's Stallone, my bad.
Stallone. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If Schwarzenegger's in this bitch too, I won't be surprised. They just like bring over all the Expendables
Well, I
people.
mean, well, he said he's not going to be in the next Expendables
Right. They just
and the
what if
next.
they just took all the people from Expendables and made a Nova Corps movie? They're like, these are all the elite Nova Corps people. Here,
All
take
right.
that Green Lantern
Okay. Yeah, I
Corps.
was gonna say you said that because it was like DC's doing a Green Lantern Corps movie, right?
Right.
They do a Nova Corps movie. Are they called
Yeah.
Nova Corps or just Nova?
Yeah. That's
No, no.
Nova
As in,
Corps.
would they call it Nova Corps?
Oh, I don't know. Probably. If there's not one focus, probably.
That would be hilarious.
I
Wouldn't
want
that
Jet
be
Li as a
hilarious?
Nova, please.
Wouldn't that
Jet
be
Li.
hilarious though?
I'd be totally fine with it.
I'd be so weirded out
it would seem like such a specific like jab at DC though. Like
It
we weren't even,
is.
but at the same time, Civil War was too, because so they weren't even gonna do Civil War really until they were like, we're making Batman v Superman. They were like, let's make Civil War then.
Yeah.
That's
It's
literally
almost
what.
like, yeah, no, it wasn't even that. It was almost like, oh, wait, we're allowed to do that shit?
Oh, I'm
Let's do
sure
that.
they were. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
sure
of
they
course
knew
it
they were
was.
allowed, but
Of
I think they were
course.
like, we got to compete with them because
Yeah.
our movies are coming out on the same day, mind you. They were like, yeah, fucking do it, whatever.
But
Do it.
even DC at that point was like, they just back to fuck off.
Yeah, they were like, nah, we're good. We don't
Not
even
from
know what
this
they're
day.
putting out. Because remember,
Yeah.
they didn't even know what Marvel was going to put out on
No.
that day.
No.
I was just like, go ahead. Go ahead. I dare you. I dare you put it out on the
Do
same day.
it. Go do your thing. Go do your
Ugh.
pretty little film,
I would
BVS.
love to go back in time and make that change happen in history, where those movies came out on the same day, just to see how different the reactions would be if they literally came out on the same day.
It's awful.
Oh, I wish. I wish.
It's awful. I
Anyway, I'm
mean,
excited for this fucking Thor movie.
I am too. But it seems like, yeah, I know, the whole, everyone, like DC and Marvel are competing. They release news one week, or a trailer or news one week, and then the other one is like, oh yeah, we got this. So, oh
Well,
yeah,
I
well,
think
we
there's
got
a bit of
this.
that, but I also feel like
I think
these
it's friendly.
motherfuckers got 3 movies coming out a year,
Yeah,
so
that's why.
their trailers and shit happen to come out staggered because they're always working on shit. Uh, but I don't think it's a direct like we got to stop them from
No,
talking
no, no,
about
no, no.
a DC thing
Of
because
course, of course, of course.
I just don't
I
think
don't
so.
believe that either. I believe that it is like, well, we've been working on this, and it's about time we actually show something of it.
Right, like there's been all this concept art and shit out. It's time to put out a teaser. This movie comes
Mm-hmm.
out in November. Why the fuck wouldn't we get a teaser?
Exactly. It only makes sense. It's like, well, and Guardians is out so soon, and most likely we'll have an actual proper trailer. Then maybe, who knows?
Right. So, yeah, man, I'm excited.
I want it
I'm
now,
stoked.
though. I want to probably watch it again
Do it.
because it's
Do it.
awesome. Okay,
Digga,
yeah.
digga, digga, digga,
I've watched it a
digga.
couple times already,
Come on, man.
so
Let's go watch it again.
yeah. But
But
that's it.
anyway, that's our thoughts on the trailer, guys. So we're probably gonna record another one about what was the other one you wanted to talk about?
Invincible.
Invincible is getting turned into a movie. And we actually did a casting special on
We
that
did.
a while ago,
We
so
did.
we're
So
gonna
you could
have to
rewatch
review
that
that.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, go
We
watch
could.
that, see who we think should be cast, and we
Yeah.
should visit that when they
We
start
should. What we did. Actually,
casting.
yeah. We should actually look at that list that we made and
Alright,
see if we want to update it or just kind of reiterate what we thought.
alright. Maybe see who did it better. We'll see who cast better, their casting director or
Or
us.
either of us. Yeah, yeah.
Alright,
I
so
think
yeah,
ours is
until the
good.
next
Yeah.
one, guys. Stay chipper chaps.
Say chipper.
What up, Chipper Chap? This is Chipper Chap Chat. What up, Chipper Chap? This is Chipper Chap Chat. What up, Chipper Chap? This is Chipper Chap Chat. What up, Chipper Chap? This is Chipper Chap Chat.